Today was a good day. Today is the 8th of March, which is Saturday. I hate French. Apart from the laundry dramas, which I was able to successfully wash and dry a shirt in the tub. Well, I say tub, I mean hand basin. So I now have 2 more shirts, and that'll last me to Warsaw. And the Novotel Central Warsaw is 4 stars and has a laundry service. So I'll be getting it done there, or Berlin, you know. Amazing. So today I waited a total of 6 hours for trains. Today was brilliant, fantastic, superb. Today I visited a little town within line of sight. Excuse me. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold. I got a bit of a tickle in my throat. Within line of sight of Amiens is a little town where they love Australia called Villers-Bretonneux, and it's an experience you really have to see for yourself. If you're Australian, you have to go there, no matter what you're doing. If you're anywhere in this region of France, you have to at least set aside just one day and drive up to Villers-Bretonneux. You won't be disappointed. I took the train in, and they've got a symbol for the town. It's Villers-Bretonneux, like it's VB, right? It's got like a V and then a B, and it makes the picture of a kangaroo using the V and B. They adore Australia. They adore what Australia did for them. So first off, I wanted to stop by the Franco-Australian Musée, but it was closed for lunch. So I then went straight on to the Australian War Memorial. It's not actually in Villers-Bretonneux. It's actually about 20 minutes walk out of Villers-Bretonneux, and I didn't know that, but I hiked the whole way there, and admittedly it is just down a ditch and then up the other side. There's a space of about 1 kilometre, but for an unfit bastard like myself, it's a big deal. But I was so glad I did. I arrived there and I walked into the main area, and it was gorgeous. Straight line of sight up, lined with graves. I didn't take any footage or pictures inside the actual war memorial because I didn't feel it was right. I walked up one side, and the idea was to look at each and every grave, but there's just so many of them. I would have been there for about 6 hours just doing that. I did scan the headstones, and it got very disturbing for me when so many of them started to say a soldier who fought in the Great War, and only that. There was no name, no nothing. I was worse at the actual war memorial, so yeah, he got off lightly. And then and it's a mixture of the Australians, New Zealanders, the Canadians. There's quite a few Canadians there. There's a few English, and then there's a few South Africans and a few New Zealanders. You get up to the end and there's this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous tower that is actually pockmarked with bullet holes from the Second World War, where the Australians used the actual memorial itself as a defensive position. And to see those bullet holes and all those graves, it just tears your heart out. The tower, there's a big semicircle of wall that has all the names of all the Australians who died. And there's just so many of them, and that's just in the Somme. And then I came back through down the other side, having a look at all those graves, saying quiet thank you and a quiet prayer. And I got to about the last 30 graves, and right at the end of the row, staring up at me, was a grave of a 19-year-old kid from the RAF squadron. And it just killed me. I completely lost it. I mean, this kid was my age. At least he's remembered though. There are so many there who have no name. You have nowhere for their family to go and grieve, you know. But they didn't die for nothing. They're remembered all throughout the village. And after I trekked back to the village, I went to the Franco-Australian Museum. And yeah, so the Franco-Australian Museum was it was beautiful. It was, in fact, the top of a school hall, like the attic area that they just converted. But it was beautiful. It had all these letters from the front line and pictures, and it had a lot of photographs of Australian soldiers having some rations or laughing and smiling, and not what you'd think war would be. But it's a testament to the Australian spirit, of course, that in the face of so much death and destruction, that they can laugh, they can retain their spirit, and they can fight with so much courage and honour. And I'm really proud to call myself Australian, especially here in the heart of France. Just knowing what they did. I mean, they lost 1,200 men, recapturing the town in one night. And when you see the vista, you have to wonder how they did it, because the town is on the top of a hill and it's looking out across the valley. And when I was walking to the to the memorial, it's a separate little hill over here, and then it goes down in a ditch. There's a separate hill here, and it goes down in a ditch, and VB's up here, even higher than that. So you really have to wonder how the hell they did it in one night. When we do something right. So yeah, I was in the Franco-Australian Museum, and it was just so beautiful, and they're so proud to be associated with Australia, and they're so they're honoured by what we did, and they honour the Australian soldiers that died by they named their school Victoria Hall. That's the hall that the museum's in, is Victoria Hall, after the state of Victoria. And they're twinned with an Australian city. The part that I thought was the most beautiful was in the playground of the school. There's a huge sign hanging off one of the eaves, and it just says in big bold letters, "Do not forget Australia." I'm kind of glad I went alone there, because it gave me time to think about it. I get a handle of my own emotions of it all, and it's so overwhelming. And as I was leaving, I bought some patches for my quilt, and there was this very nice, albeit a bit not quite all there, Frenchman who, as usual, knew just a little bit of English, and he took me down to the lower level of the hall, like the main area where everyone would kind of hang out for the assemblies and that. And he turned the lights on, and then he turned a second set of lights on, and there were little spotlights, and on every column they had wood carvings of all the different Australian animals. They had lyrebirds and numbats and possums and kookaburras and cockatoos, and just seeing all that filled me with a sense of just huge pride. Reading about what my fellow countrymen had done, and seeing how hard, how difficult the terrain was and how cold it was, and this was in March. They retook VB on the 24th of April, I think it was 1918, and it was so cold there today, and they would have done courageous, huge things in that same cold, yet not giving up. I mean, it really does make my heart swell with pride to be an Australian. Honestly, in the same circumstances, I really wish to say that I could do the same thing, that I could put my hand up and say, yes, I'll go fight for this country. But honestly, until the situation presents itself, I can't say yes I would, and I can't say no I wouldn't, because I just don't know. I'd like to think I would, but I don't know. I mean, I hope to God that we never have to do that. Just seeing the loss, seeing the sacrifice, seeing how much blood was spilled, I really hope that we never have to go through that again. I just wish that people would see how futile war is, how useless it is. Stop sending our kids away to die. You know, each man in one of those graves is someone's brother, someone's father, someone's son, someone's child. So today was definitely worth it. All of my other bad experiences, the 12-hour delay, the crappy hotel in Paris, the bad feeling in Paris, just the general negativity of Parisians altogether, is completely wiped away by this one beautiful, gorgeous day I had. And not that the sun was shining, and you know, it was a grey, dark and very cold day, because the wind was biting, you know. But it gives me a new sense of identity as an Australian, as to what we've done, and how in the face of adversity we slap the fuckers back. So that was my day in VB. I walked back to the train station, and I was at the train station and I met two other lads, Robbo and Steve, both Australians, both come and have a look at VB for themselves. And I got off the train, and instead of going left like I should have, or right like I did the first time, I went straight on ahead. And you know what I discovered? There is like this huge, awesome mall in the middle of Amiens. Yeah, it was great. I followed the mall, dropped me right at my hotel. It was beautiful. So rather than subject you to any more sneezing or blubbering, I'll sign off tonight with a renewed sense of hope that my days will get better. You know, I'm out of France soon, so hopefully people speak a little bit more English and not be so stubborn about not speaking English. Everyone speaks just a little bit. And then there's the smartasses that answer me in French. So they, parlez-vous anglais? Oui. Well, could you speak it, please? An amazing difference between the Parisian women and the French countryside women is the French countryside women are far better looking. Unfortunately, none of them know any English. They all know just a little bit. So that's rather frustrating. I don't know, I guess you can walk down the street like I've been doing and talk to yourself and no one can overhear your conversation because they don't know what the hell you're talking about. But then you just seem crazy. Anyway, I'm out of tape, so I'll talk to you guys later.